everyone, my name is Christy. Welcome to my corner. Thanks so much for joining me today on this Flosstube Friday for Flosstube number 53, and this is my Flosstube wedding edition. I was going to make this into a Flosstube extra wedding edition, but then I realized that I'm essentially just showing you all the stitching that I did during the week, which was for the most part wedding stitching. I've done a little other stitching that was not wedding stitching, but I'll just save that for my next video when there's kind of more progress happening. So in this video, we're going to talk about my wedding finishes and other wedding accoutrements that I kind of have been collecting and would like to show you. I do have a tiny bit of haul and I have a little bit of Happy Mail. So we're going to talk about all that. But before we get to that, I want to welcome my new subscribers. Thank you so much for joining me on my crafty and artistic adventures. And welcome back to everyone who's been hanging out with me for however long you've been with me. It has been really nice to get to know you here in the comments on YouTube and also on Instagram. And if you're not following me on Instagram, you can find me at Dr_Christy. I'll put that right here. And that's where I post pictures of daily stitching and crafting and sneak peeks and all those kinds of things. So if any of that is interesting to you and you're not following me on Instagram, head over there and check me out. It's a really nice community, and I enjoy watching what everyone's posting, and I think people enjoy seeing what I'm posting. So that's a place you can find my stuff. This is a channel about embroidery and cross stitch and other textile crafts and baking and history and the history of all of those things. So if any of that is interesting to you and you are not subscribed, I'd love to have you subscribe and stick around. So as you can see, I'm still kind of glistening. I still have no air conditioning. It's now been 5 weeks since we've had air conditioning. Just to give you a little update, the warranty company that we use, because we pay for a home warranty, so that way it pays for things like the air conditioner. Like we specifically have one that covers the air conditioner. They essentially keep sending the wrong part to the contractor. So that sucks. And I'm very warm. That's all I can say. I'm just very warm. So that's still been very disruptive, and it has not been conducive for much work on my book. So I do have a very brief book update, which I might just do right now since I'm talking about it. If you want to skip ahead, I will not hold that against you at all. So when you see me holding something up, stop. But basically, we have this database that I have been, we have a trial of a database that I have been working with. And essentially, I've just been trolling through this database and getting interlibrary loan books and articles. So I have, I'd say 20-something, 30-something books and articles that have come in that I'm still working my way through. So I'm going to continue doing that. I have this trial for this database until the end of the month. And so even while I'm away, I'm still going to work on this database. That's my book update. I also emailed my editor. In fact, I need to email her again today. And I was like, what happens if I don't get it done by the time I need to get it done? And so I think there's an extension possible until next summer. And I may take her up on that. I'm going to really try and aim for the fall, because this is my chance to be able to work on this full time. And so when I get back from the wedding, my hope is that I can really focus on the book. And I'm hoping, I'm hoping that things don't get too much worse here, because my brain is very full of all sorts of stuff like I talked about last week. Anyway, that's my book update. Not very exciting, but I am making a little bit of progress, and that's kind of what I'm hoping for this week and next week. And then when I come back, like I said, gangbusters, man. I will just start doing the things that need to get done, because I want this to happen, this book to happen. Let's talk wedding. I have fully finished objects. So I will show you my first fully finished object. I am having 2 flower girls in my wedding. And I decided that I was going to make them little pom-pom bouquets. So I made little pom-pom flowers out of recycled silk sari ribbon. I got the blue ribbon, the sari silk ribbon from Modern Macrame. And I got the white, or the off-white ribbon from Darn Good Yarn. So that's where these are from. And they're essentially just, I wish I had one to show you, but they're essentially just long pieces of silk sari tied together into like a ball. And I put little crystal centers. There we go. Little crystal centers that's on a wire. This is just some twine, and then this here is blue chenille. And then I attached them to just an 18 gauge wire, wrapped it wrapped each one in floral tape so that it was green and nice. I wrapped the whole thing in a thin gold wire, and then I used some ribbon and white ribbon and a teal bow ribbon just to give them something to hold on to. So I have to make 3 of these because I have 2 nieces who are my flower girls, but there are going to be 3 little girls at this. The only kids who are coming to this wedding are 3 little girls, and you can't give a pom-pom bouquet to 2 out of 3 little girls. So I'm making my cousin's daughter, who is not part of the wedding, I'm making her a pom-pom bouquet as well, because you can't just give it to 2 little girls if you have 3 little girls coming to the wedding. So that's my first fully finished object. I have a finished object, which is my flower. So I have been embroidering flower petals for weeks now. This is what they look like on the hoop. So I'll put a picture here of them on the hoop. They are stitched in DeVere Yarns silk, size 6. And here I bought tons of extras, which I did not need to do, but they come in a spool like this. This is the color biscuit. This is gold, just kind of colored gold, I think. Old gold. That's old gold. And then the white is crystal. And then I'm using I used a teal as well. That is, I don't remember what it's called. I talked about it in my last video. I put it together yesterday, and this is what it looks like. And I could not be more thrilled with this flower. I had said on Instagram that of the things that I've made in my life, this is definitely one of the most beautiful. So they are individual silk flowers, silk petals that I stitched onto a, what's it called? Super thin, starts with a C. I keep wanting to say chenille, but it's not chenille. Super thin fabric. Oh, my brain's not working. I have a headache. I'm hot, dehydrated. It's hot in here. Anyway, stitch on a really, really sheer, super thin fabric with wire, and I used the same crystal middle, and then I bought these gold leaves on clearance at Michael's. There's a little bit of problem on the bottom with the threads becoming loose because of the way I bent the petals, but I think that it's stable, so I'm happy with it. And then I wrapped the whole thing in floral tape and then in gold wire, just because all of the different wires were very pokey, because each one of these petals is on a separate, each one of these petals is on a separate wire. So that is the center of my bouquet. I'm going to just give you one more look at this. I'm going to spin it for you because I am so happy with this. Oh my goodness. I love it so much. So the plan is that it's going to be surrounded by blue pom-poms. So it's kind of going to look like this. And that's going to be my bouquet. And I love it. I'm really pleased with it. So I have this will be the center of a flower girl bouquet because it has leaves, and then the ones without leaves are for my bouquet. I have 3 in here and I want 5. So I need to make 3, and you make 2 more of these little blue flowers, and I have to make 6 of, of these white flowers to make the 2 other flower girl bouquets. I've already made the pom-poms. I just have to make them into flowers now. I think I'm going to take that with me to my mom's house. I finished all the beading on my dress that I want to do. Now, I have been keeping the dress pretty, well, completely off social media because Rich does not want to see the dress, which I totally understand. But I kind of wanted to show you. So what I'm going to do is just quick flash a picture of the embroidery and the beading that I did on my dress. The embroidery came on the dress. The beading, the gold beads I did. So this is part of the motif of the dress, and I did the gold beads. And I love it. I'm so happy with the gold beads. I'm happy with how it makes it sparkle. There's a belt that has a little, like the waistband has beading as well, and the bottom has embroidery but no beading. If I have time, I may bead that as well, but it apparently takes a really long time to bead things by hand, so it probably won't get done. I feel like there are other things that I could do that would have more impact visually than the hem of the dress. But I'm glad I did the whole bodice and the waistband. So that is the dress. And then I worked on my headpiece. So I wanted a bird cage veil. So I have just kind of a box of my wedding stuff here. I wanted a bird cage veil, but my hair is much too fine for a comb. And the only bird cage veils I could find were in comb form. So I bought one of those in combs. I took it off the comb and I put it on felt disc. And so now it's going to sit like this on my head. And then, so this is the veil part. I'm not a veil kind of person. So this is as far as the veil is going, like that. And then I have two options. I have this fun thing. I put the peacock feathers on it because I love me some peacock feathers. And so they would go on like, I'm trying to do this in the thing. They would go on like this, right? And so it would look like that. Or I have, this is like my favorite fascinatory headband. And it would go on like this. And I'm not sure which one I like better. I'm kind of leaning towards this one because I certainly don't want, hold on, let me undo myself here. Ugh. I certainly don't want to glue this to this because I love this as a headband. Also, I love that this looks like a tiny top hat. So I love me a tiny top hat. And I'm going to post a picture here of like my every Halloween hair situation. I don't even know which picture I'm going to post because I have a bunch of pictures of me in this tiny top hat. So I'm going to post a tiny top hat picture here. And this to me looks like a tiny top hat. And I just feel like this is just so much fun. And the peacock feathers are fun. And it just, I'm stuck. Sorry, my hair's up. And it just like is so much fun. So I'm going to take both of them with me and consult with my mom and see what she says. But I'm leaning towards, you know, pseudo tiny top hat. So I did that as well. And I think that's all the stuff that I made because all of that took quite a lot of time. So I guess I just want to show some of the other things that I'm wearing and holding or using or whatever. I was thinking about earrings and I was looking at sort of really fancy ones. And then I realized that I have these earrings and I love these earrings. They're just really simple posts and they're ceramic. They're porcelain. So they're shiny porcelain with a little bit of gold. And I just love how they look on. So I'm going to wear these earrings and I'm pretty excited about that. I'm wearing a necklace that I'm borrowing. Well, let's talk about this. So my something borrowed is a necklace that was my grandmother's and I think was also her mother's. And essentially all the women in the family wear it on their wedding. And my aunt has it. My aunt is the oldest daughter, and so she is in possession of it. It's a lavalier, I think it's called. If I can find a picture, I'll post it here. And I'm gonna wear that. That's my something borrowed. So it's something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. So my something old is that same grandmother. I inherited her purse, and so I'm going to use her purse, which is gold and beads and amazing. And it even, the thing, I love stuff like this. Like it has like hat pins in it. I love that. So I'm going to have this to keep my like stuff in. Something new is, you know, I have new shoes. I have a new dress, stuff like that. So I have lots of new stuff. My something borrowed, like I said, is the lavalier. My something blue is the blue on my dress. So the saying goes, something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue, and a sixpence in your shoe. And I'm in the United States in 2021, so no sixpence for me. Except that my fiance gave me a gift of a sixpence for my shoe, which was very sweet. So I need to figure out how to get this in my sandal. I think I'm gonna eventually actually have to like tape it to my sandal. And then I was like, oh, that's so sweet, you know. And then I'm reading the tradition, and I see how it is. Tradition says, if a bride wears a 6-pence coin in her shoe on her wedding day, her marriage will be blessed with wealth and good fortune. He just wants a sugar mama. That's his goal. He's like, I'm going to invest in this 6-pence. She'll put it in her shoe, and then I'll have a sugar mama. So anyway, I have my 6-pence, and that will be lovely. And I'm very excited. And I will get that in my shoe. I don't know if I showed you my invitations before. So these are the invitations that I sent out. And they're just little teal birds and a brown branch with a gold shiny leaves. And then I had a wax stamp. And then the invitation on the inside looks like that. And that's the one you put on your fridge. So that is the invitation that I sent out. And I recently bought some cake toppers because we're not having fresh flowers or anything like that. So I got this. So it's just love with some birds, which I thought was fitting, and it's gold, so it matches. I didn't know if that would work out because the image on Amazon was black. It was like a black thing. It said it was shiny gold, but it was black. So I ordered that. And then I also ordered some little teal birds. I have 2 birds, although they're not actually quite as little as I thought they were going to be. It's kind of actually quite a large bird. So I may put these in front of like on the dessert table, or if, you know, I don't know how big this cake is going to be. So they may fit on the cake with the love thing. I don't know. So those are the cake accoutrements. And then for my cousin, and my sister planned not really like a bachelorette or a hen party, but more of just well, they just called it Christy Day because like there wasn't a ton of, it was just a very nice, it was basically they did it specifically for things that I like, which I really appreciate. It was kind of a wonderful day. And they got me gifts, which I was not expecting at all. And one of the gifts that they got me was a toasting flute with our names on it. I don't know if you can see that, but our names are engraved in that. And that was really, really nice. I think because it also has the date on it, I may save that for our anniversary toasts. We're going to save a slice of cake and freeze it for our first anniversary. And I think we'll use those then. Because my stepmom is retired now, but she worked in the homewares corporate world for a very long time. All sorts of various types of homewares, but she really focused on homewares, and she was a business forecaster. So she was pretty high up in a lot of these companies, and she was able to get the slightly imperfect products for very cheap. So in the 90s, I want to say the 90s and early aughts, she worked for Waterford Wedgwood, and she ended up with a lot of Wedgwood china and Waterford crystal. And so I have 3 other toasting goblets that I want to show you because I think we're going to use one of those. First, I want to show you the toasting goblets that I want to use, toasting flutes I want to use. And they just have, that you can see better, 2 swans in the shape of a heart with some cut. And so this is like heavy crystal. I mean, this is not light, right? This is heavy crystal. So these are the ones that I want to use. We're either using these or Rich has a couple drinking horns. I'm a medievalist. I can go with a drinking horn. We'll discuss it. We'll bring both. So that's the goblets that I like. I put them back and they're in their fancy box. And then these were really cute. These toasting flutes, I didn't like as much. They're cute, but they're kind of a little too cute. So they have like a little heart and a little gold top. So those are those. And so they were definitely my second choice of the 3 that I have already. And my third choice, these are like huge. They have a rose in the little thing. They're very like ornate. Rich says they're very 80s, early 90s. They are definitely very 80s, early 90s. Oh, they have a butterfly. They have butterflies and oh my goodness. And fire. I don't know what that is. Can you see that? I don't know if you can even, there we go. Like, what is that? I think that's fire. But these are way more ornate than I am. I'm not this ornate, so we're not going to use these. But I think they're hilarious and I love them. So I've been keeping them for years. I've had them for years. So those are my 3 other toasting flute options. And I think I am definitely going to bring the swan ones. And Rich and I can talk about whether we want to use the swans for our toasts or the drinking horns. I mean, you know, either one is fine. So I want to talk about the flower again and things that I would do differently and things that I really like about it. So first of all, I love how it turned out. Don't get me wrong. I'm thrilled with it. Like I said on Instagram, it is one of the most beautiful things that I've probably ever made. And it came out exactly how I hoped it would come out. However, some things that I learned is that I stitched it on chiffon. Chiffon, that's what I stitched on, a polyester chiffon. And it was much too thin, especially because I used such a fine gauge of silk. The chiffon and the silk do not, it just doesn't have much body. And it's very malleable. It's much more malleable than I like. So in fact, after I'm done, I'm putting it in here and storing it in this this canister because I want to make sure that it does not get bent on the trip. I don't want to have to worry about it. So that's the first thing I would have done, definitely. I think I would have added more like leaves or something around this section too. And I guess for a bouquet like I'm doing, it works better to not have it, just to have it on top so then I can put things around it. But like, it looks amazing like that. But there's really not much happening, right? It's like I don't know. It's just it's a very two-dimensional, 3-dimensional flower, I guess is what I'm saying. So it'll look great in like a thing of pom-poms, as like the top of a thing of pom-poms, but you can't just like have this on its own, I don't think. I don't know. It would have to be in something. I don't know. So that's the other thing I would do differently. And I would also make the twists at the top neater. You know, I just make it neater, but I'm super thrilled with it. So it's going to go into this canister and going to be really safe. I think that that's all the wedding stuff. Next time I see you, I mean, we're going to take lots of pictures. We have a photographer and I will post lots of pictures. I have a wedding website that I've kept on the DL for personal reasons, but I may kind of take a bunch of pictures and put them up there and then post the website on my Instagram. So on the day of, I'll post that link to the website so you can, at least if anyone's interested, seeing pictures of the event space and stuff like that. And then after the wedding, I'll post pictures and stuff on social media and also at the end of probably my next video. Or I guess I don't know how long it's going to take my photographer to get pictures to me. So I'm not sure when that's going to happen, but I will post pictures on social media and on my website and on here if you want to see pictures of the wedding. Yeah. So let's just talk a quick haul and then happy mail and then I'm off. So I placed an order with Penguin and Fish. I had a coupon for like 30% off, so I decided I would place an order. So I got some project trackers, and it has the project name, the date started, who I'm making it for, the pattern, when it's due if you need it, different steps, supplies, notes, date finished, and reflections. Right, so that's at the bottom. So I got 2 of these tablets. I'm kind of I'm kind of buying things for a big 1,000 subscriber giveaway, if that ever happens. If that doesn't happen, I may do some Flossmas giveaways, whichever comes first, essentially. So that's why I'm kind of picking up things. I also picked up a couple needle threaders that I thought were really pretty, just for fun. And, oh, and these needle threaders have a little blade. That's cute. I got a couple of those. And then I love me a mystery box. So they had, what is it called? A mystery gift. $10 for a mystery gift? Yes, please. And what I got was a butterfly embroidery pattern, the fabric to do said butterfly embroidery pattern, and some mini skeins. They are not all of the colors, but they are some of the colors, and I'll use this for a future giveaway. And then she always sends a free little mini skein. That was the extent of my haul. And then my happy mail, I mentioned last week that Chevis from Chevy Rel had been tie-dyeing some fabric and said she'd send me one of her swatches. So she also sent me a Grab Yo Drank cozy. So that's fun. And the fabric. So I am so excited about this fabric. Look at that. Isn't that magnificent? Look at that. So as soon as I got it, I got all sorts of ideas. I think I'm going to cut it into quarters and make 4 different pieces. And I'm feeling really like organic-y pieces. So like it'll be a piece on this, just this size, which is, I don't know, 7 by 7. So let me get a 6 by 6 hoop. So this is a 6-inch hoop. I think it'll be a little bit small. The fabric will be. So I think it's going to be a 4-inch piece. I think a 4-inch will be perfect. I think a 3-inch might be a little too small. Oh, I need a 3-inch. I think a 3-inch is a waste of fabric. But a 4-inch has sort of good fabric coverage. Look at that. I mean, look, think of all the things I could stitch on that. Amazing. And then you also have the top part that has this interesting black. And that feels very organic to me. Like tendrils coming out of that. This might be a 6-inch piece. Tendrils. Who doesn't love a tendril? Right? I mean, this looks very petri dish to me, right? So like you kind of think in terms of bacteria or fungus. I don't know. I'm just super inspired by this. So thank you, Chevis, so much for sending this to me. I'm really inspired by this and I appreciate it very much. You did not have to do that, but I'm going to have fun with that thing and it's going to be awesome. That's it. That's it for me, friends. I hope you enjoyed seeing my kind of wedding ideas and progress. Like I said, I'll post pictures when I have them. I probably won't be filming any video next Friday because I'll be in like the throes of things showing up and decorating and setting up and that kind of a thing, picking up cakes and foods and stuff like that. So I'll be very busy. We'll just say that. I'll be very busy. But if I have time, I might film a little hello something and maybe give you a little tour of what things are looking like on Friday. I don't think it's going to look like much on Friday, but I can at least give you a tour of the space and kind of what's happening in the space. If anyone's interested, that can be kind of my next Friday's video. And then the Friday after, I'll have like a normal Flosstube because I'm sure I will have a lot of stitching that will have gotten done by then. So I think that's it for me. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been great to share this with you, and I appreciate all the love and support on Instagram and in the comments here. It's just been so nice to have this kind of support during the planning process and the stitching process and all the processes. I appreciate you so much. So thank you so much for joining me. And with all that being said, please take good care of yourselves and have a good one. Bye.